favorite influencer, TJ Slays, and I'm back with another video. And today I wanted to make a video more about me, like about y'all, like really just knowing more about my personal life and the things I've been through, because I feel like a lot of stuff that I've been through and I've experienced, a lot of people wouldn't expect me to have gone through it or dealt with these things. And I feel like you never judge a book by its cover. And also I feel like what I went through and what the things I struggle with, it might just help somebody get better or pull them out their situation. But just a little trigger warning. This video may trigger some people. Some people may not feel comfortable talking about these kind of things, experiences, and all that stuff. So I had to fix my camera. So yeah, it's weird because I'm gonna talk about this stuff. Like, it's gonna be really hard for me to make, and it's funny because I've made this video 3 times already, and each time I made it, I started to upload it and I fall back off and like, I don't want people to know all that about me. Or like, it'd be like kind of like a sense of embarrassment there. And it's like, now I'm at a place in my life where it's like, bro, like, I'm just so blessed. Like, I will cry just thinking about like how blessed I am. And I need people to understand that, like, I didn't just like get to where I'm at, like mentally and all that stuff, and like being able to do the things I do, all that stuff, like easy. Like, it just wasn't easy. Like, I didn't just wake up and like, no, bro. Like, I went through real life stuff. Like, I got past real life situations, and I feel like we don't talk about how important mental health is. So yeah, I just want to be real in this video. So y'all might see me fiddling with my fingers because I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm uncomfortable talking about it, but it's weird talking about it. Like, especially talking about it to like on a platform where people can like see this. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like a one-on-one conversation with somebody. If you've gone through something, like, it get easier. Like, it get easier. It get better. Even when it don't feel like it's getting better. It's gonna get better. I'm telling you. So for you guys that don't know, like, I've survived 3 suicide attempts. Like, yeah. Which is crazy, I know, right? And I do suffer with severe anxiety and depression. I was diagnosed with it. I used to take antidepressants, but I haven't taken them in about 2 years now. It's gone on 2 years, and I ain't taking nothing. No thoughts, no suicidal thoughts, no nothing. Like, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life, y'all. Like, from 2022, even though I had some things I went through in 2022 that was hard, but like up until now, like, this is the happiest I ever been. Even with my bad times, this is the happiest I ever been. And it's crazy because I just got done going through some things, and I think about how I would have been in 2019, in 2020, how I would have reacted, how I would have dealt with it, and like to see like the way I'm dealing with it now, it's just like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I know I always do that. I don't know why, y'all, but I do that all the time. I do stuff like that in person because that's how I be feeling. Like, I just be so excited, like, because it's like, whoa, like the growth that I've had and the things I've overcome, it can't compete, it can't compare to where I'm at now. So I kind of want to start like, okay, so in elementary, I always struggled with like not like having friends and like being accepted and all that stuff. So I feel like it kind of stemmed there. And when I think back to my thoughts, it's like not really feeling accepted about like my family, like my cousins and all that stuff. Just kind of always like, I always felt like left out. Like, damn, that is the perfect way to describe it. I always felt left out. So being younger, I always felt just left out. And once I got into middle school, probably like 7th, 8th grade, I started generating friends and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I started making friends. I always struggled with confidence. I started realizing how pretty I was. Like, okay, I'm a cute girl. Like, yeah, like, they on my body. Like, you know what I'm saying? So by the time freshman year come, Instagrams are wrong. Like I've already like had somewhat of a following on Instagram and all that stuff by like freshman year and all that stuff. I always been kind of popular in my area. So people kind of always knew me and all that stuff. So yeah, that was the thing. And I figured like by that age, I think it was more so of a just not feeling like I had nobody to talk to or nobody being there for me type of thing I was probably going through. I don't want the video to be too long, y'all. But yeah, so I say I probably had my first suicide attempt when I was like 15, and it was just on something like I just felt like nobody was there for me. Like I just didn't really know I ain't really have no purpose. Like that's really what it was for me. And I'll say that one wasn't that big. Like I tried to I took like some Benadryl, y'all, and just went to sleep. Probably took like 6 of them. Like I wasn't really trying, but I wasn't trying hard enough. But yeah, went to sleep. My second one was probably I was like maybe like probably around like 16, 17-ish, 16. And I was in like a really toxic relationship. And it really took a toll on me, like mentally. And because keep in mind, y'all, the type of household I come from a 2-parent household. I'm pretty silver spoon for the most part. I never wanted for nothing. I wasn't rich, but in my head, like the way I grew up, I thought I had money. And I love my parents for that because they kept a lot of things away from us. Like you would have never been able to tell me that I wasn't living luxury because I had everything I wanted. And I didn't notice that until I was like grown adult. When I say grown adult, I'm talking about y'all, I didn't know since I was like 17, 18 years old. That's how good my parents did. Was like, they didn't shelter us, but they let us be kids. And I really loved them for that. And you take a person who comes from a stable household and you put them in someone's house that is not really in their house, but always around them, spending the night. You know what I'm saying? I had a boyfriend at this time. And like you put them in a household that isn't as stable as yours. And like you're constantly around that. You're dealing with their demons, their problems, they mental state, all that stuff. Like they putting their problems on you at a very young age. You put me in that situation, me coming from the household I came from. It's like, it's mind boggling because I never dealt with nothing like this. I never experienced this. I never had my mama act like this, my daddy act like this, my siblings be like this, people, you know what I'm saying? It was just stuff I just had never been through. And that's why I always encourage like girls younger than me that are in high school to don't jump into a relationship at a very young age, because as a woman in a mental state a relationship can have on you is ridiculous. And I feel like this is part of the reason why like I struggled so bad mentally and all that stuff. So keep in mind, I kept myself in that position with that person for 3 years, and it was just like really like mentally abusive. And like, not to down talk him and all that stuff because we were young, you know what I mean? We were young. Like you can't fault nobody, you know what I mean? But it just took a lot on me. And the way the relationship ended, it ended with like my, you know, like him putting his hands on me. So that like really took like a mental toll on me because I had never experienced nothing like that. So keep in mind, like, I'm just telling y'all like little things that like kind of like traumatic events, traumatic things that kind of maybe made me be this way, but I had already always been this way. So we move on, and it's like I just never really felt like, I never felt like nobody cared about how I felt. I never felt accepted, and I think that's why I'm so big on people like, bro, like don't disregard my feelings. Like I hate stuff like that, and I feel like that's why I'm so big on it now, because I just don't like people disregarding my feelings. Like I always felt like people just didn't care. Like people didn't care, and I didn't care, and I just really didn't know my purpose for real. I don't know. Like I still to this day I can't put my finger on it, and I feel like that in that way it kind of upset me even more, and it kind of played on my mental even more, because in my head it's like, bro, you got everything you like ever wanted. Like you got everything you wanted, but like you good. You have amazing support system. You have amazing family. You have amazing friends. Why you want to kill yourself? Like what's wrong with you? And it was just like, what's wrong with you? Like, girl, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I felt guilty because of like the way I grew up and all that stuff, that I felt like I did not deserve to feel the way I feel, like, if that makes sense. Like, you don't deserve to want to kill yourself, and you don't deserve to feel this sad and depressed because you don't have no reason to. You don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have that. You ain't deal with, you know what I mean? And it's like, what's big for me may not be big for you, and what's big for somebody else may not be big for me. So for me to try to downplay my feelings and the way I felt all the time, I feel like that kind of like triggered everything in me too, like into me too. So at this point, I'm on my second attempt, and I thought about hanging myself, but I didn't want to leave people with that trauma. So I always kind of just like, you know, went to like medications and all that stuff. I ain't have no pill problem, but like if I ever wanted to hurt myself, I was going to do it with pills. Like if I was gonna overdose on something, if I was gonna take myself out. I wasn't gonna leave the traumatic feeling of somebody in my family finding me hanging from the ceiling. I didn't want that. Or, you know what I mean? Me shooting myself. Like, I didn't want that. So yeah, and keep in mind, these attempts nobody knew about, nobody found out about. But my last one landed me in the hospital. Like, my last one, like, really, really did it. And I say I was about 19. And I just feel like, I don't know, like I said, it was just always a sense of me not feeling good enough, me not feeling accepted by nobody around me. Like, that's really what it was. Me not talking to nobody about how I felt. And when I did talk, because I'm naturally such an overdramatic person, it was kind of like taken, like, you know, lightly. Like, you know what I mean? Whole time, like, I'm really going through stuff. And it was a time where I had got expressive about what I was going through, and people just kind of, like, didn't take it as serious. Like, and I'm telling y'all, like, my anxiety and my depression had got so bad. Like, I will not get out of bed. Like, I will stay in my bed for days. I will not eat. Like, it was bad. Like, I will lose my car keys, y'all. And this is when I started to notice that, like, I really, really, at this point, I'm like 18, 19. Like, I'm losing my car keys and I'm losing my mind. I'm bawling in tears. I'm having a fit. Like, this not normal behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, the way I react to people, like, hurting my feelings, the way, it was just like, I was always just overly emotional and just always like, and like, it took a time. And it's like, I remember one time, I can't really remember what happened, because like I said, like, when you go through traumatic things, you tend to push them out your memory. I don't care how old you are. At this big age, I can't remember what triggered me to walk 30 minutes from my dad's house to my mama's apartment crying in tears. I just really can't remember the argument I had, what really triggered that for me. But I looked at my mom and I told her, I think something wrong with me. And I just can't put it is. And me coming from a Christian household in the family I come from, oh no, you need to pray, you need to reach out to God. And yeah, that's true. Like, for sure. Like, I will never, I'm only the person I am today because of my relationship with God. Like, but it's like, sometimes it's deeper. Like, it ain't deeper, but like, sometimes, like, you don't need that. Like, I need you to understand that, like, I'm going through something and I'm expressing that I'm going through something and it's serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, get me some help. So, I had the therapy and all that stuff. Y'all, I used to find myself on, like, spiritual highs, like, meditating, praying, reading books. And these are things I still do. But I wasn't doing it because, like, it gave me peace. I was doing it because I was trying to, like, what's the word? Well, I'm trying to see what I'm trying to say. I was doing it because I was just looking for some type of peace of mind. Like, and I feel like, okay, if I constantly do these things, my peace of mind gonna come and I'm gonna forget about it. So I meditate and I pray and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. All right, let's go. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm putting myself on these spiritual highs, trying to, like, just force myself to believe I'm okay. And the whole time I'm not okay. And I remember one time I was sitting in my car and I was in front of a phone store and something was going on with my phone. And I was just thinking, like, okay, it was raining. I'm like, okay, I could wreck my car. Like, I'm just really thinking about ways, like, I could just really end it all. Like, I swear to God, this is a true story. And I didn't do it that day. But a few days later, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And also I find out, like, if I'm not working and, like, I'm not busy, I tend to, you know, isolation isn't good for everybody. Isolation could be a good thing. Isolation could be a bad thing. So I started to isolate myself too much. And I feel like that kind of screwed me up. And it was like, y'all, it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, April. And I woke up, and it's crazy. I was supposed to go. I was with my ex-boyfriend that day and all that stuff. Like, it was a good day. That's what I'm saying. This is how I knew something wasn't right, because I will literally be up and down. Nothing happened to me this day, y'all. The day I snapped, like, nothing happened to me. I can't put my finger on who pissed me off, who triggered me, nothing. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go on my move. Like, I just don't be here no more. Whatever, go on my move. I took like 15 prescription pills, and like 8 Benadryl. So even to this day, I keep Benadryl because I got bad allergies. So, and I just took a nap. And before I lay down, I kind of texted my mom and I just told them I loved them. And that was all I said. And then I laid down and I just went to sleep. I never talked about this before, y'all. Like, it's hard for me to talk about this. I'm not gonna lie. I had turned my phone off and I just lay down and went to sleep. And I was just okay. And I was just at peace with me. And then just like, so I remember my brother walking in my room. Well, I don't remember because I was like, I can't really remember, like, but I remember he was like, hey, like, Tootie, get up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't getting up. So, like, next thing you know, I guess I'm in an ambulance. And, like, I wake up and I'm in the hospital. Now I'm on suicide watch for 72 hours. So, they was like, if my brother didn't find me when he found me, like, that would have been it for me, pretty much. I'm in the hospital. They made me take off all my jewelry, my charm bracelet, everything. And the only thing I have is a book. They don't give me my phone. They don't give me nothing. I had to be in the hospital for 72 hours. I was on suicide watch with the door open, and they kept a nurse by my door. So I felt crazy as hell, y'all. I'm laughing, but I really just felt crazy as hell. And I had to interview with a psychiatrist and all that stuff. And they wanted to put me in a mental home for a few days. And my mama was like, no, we're not putting her there because my daughter expressed to me that she need help. So before I got to that point, I was expressive that, like, hey, something wrong with me and I need to get some assistance. So after, like, being examined and all that stuff, they ran, you know, ran tests and all that stuff. They was like, oh, she has a chemical imbalance in her brain. Like, she suffers with anxiety and depression. We're going to prescribe her some antidepressants and all that stuff. So I was on the antidepressants for about a year until I decided to stop taking them. But I'm just telling my story to say, like, even though I didn't die that day, something died inside me. Like, it was something that kind of, like, triggered to me. And it was like, okay, you got people who care about you and you got a lot to live for. Like, you got a lot to live for. So, y'all, it's really hard to talk about, like, for real. But yeah, something was just like, okay, you got a lot to live for. And I just, from that day, I had, like, made it my freaking life goal to get myself together mentally. So, I started surrounding myself around people who really, like, genuinely, like, you know, cared about me, like, loved me. Like, keep in mind, y'all, I was in a relationship when this happened. And right after I got out of the hospital, I didn't hear from my boyfriend at the time for like 3-4 days. So that took a mental toll on me too. But it was like, and it's like my family around me, they just didn't think it was that serious. And like, bro, like, stuff be that serious. Like, even when you don't think it's that serious and people are expressing to you that they don't want to be here and all that stuff, take that to the extreme. Take that serious, because you just really don't know how serious people is. And I was dead serious. Like, I did not want to be here. I did not care. Like, you can hit me with a car tomorrow and I'm gonna hope I die. Like, and I just say this to say, like, take those things serious. And if you are dealing with, like, mental health, like, be sure, like, especially problems that I had, be sure to surround yourself around genuine love and people who, like, really, really care about you. Like, I separated myself from so many people after that, y'all. I learned my triggers, like, and I really, like, promised myself to get myself together mentally and love myself a lot more than what I did. And things that really helped me get that together was, like, manifesting everything and, like, praying more and surrounding myself around genuine people who cared about me. Letting go of relationships that didn't do nothing for me mentally, that hurt me hurt me more mentally than rather than help me grow. Learning my triggers. Like, I don't argue with people now. If I feel like you're disregarding how I feel, I'm not going to deal with you. Just because I have a past, like, y'all, I have a past of really dealing with things. So therefore, anything that can give me an inch of a feeling I felt in the past, I separate myself from it. And I've been good mentally ever since. And like, I started reading more. A Book The Universe Has Your Back, like, really helped me out. Crazy Fate by Michael Ty helped me out. The Alchemist helped me mentally. Right now, I'm reading The Power of Positive Thinking. Once we change our perspective on life and the way we view things, and the way we see things, the way we see ourselves, you have full control. Like, you have full control over your depression. You have full control over your anxiety. It's just all about you taking your control back and you learning how to see things differently. Like, so for now, I don't look at my suicide attempts as if like I was crazy, I was going through stuff, I was just depressed, I was sick. I don't look at it as a pity anymore, but I look at it as if like, dang bro, like that's my story and that's me. Like, that is me. Like, that is the me that helped me get here. You know what I'm saying? So when you in your depression and I find myself down about things, I tend to change my outlook on it. Like, okay, God put me through this right now, but I know after I get through this, it's something better behind that. You know what I'm saying? So once you start seeing past what you're going through and like thinking about what's at the finish line of that battle, it helps. I don't know if that makes sense, y'all. But if you are going through something mentally, focus on your relationship with God, for real. Like, that helped too. Like, and I just got better with that. Like, now, nothing feels better than having a good relationship with God. Not a relationship with your boyfriend, not a relationship with your mom, not a relationship with your daddy. That relationship with God brings you a different kind of peace. Like that brings you a different kind of peace of mind. And with my anxiety, I got off my antidepressants because I didn't want to be codependent on nothing anymore. Yeah, I just didn't want to be codependent anymore, so I just didn't want to take any of that no more. With my anxiety, I learned my triggers. Like, I know when to walk away from stuff. I know when to walk away. I know when to leave it alone. And I decided to love myself first and love myself more, to walk away from people that hurt me and that hindered me more than they helped me. Talk about it, because like, your mental health is important, like, for real. And so is your relationship with God. Once you start seeking God, once you start, you know what I mean, doing all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, like, really like trying to live in his word and all that stuff. And I ain't saying be perfect, because I ain't nowhere close to perfect. I smoke, I drink, I curse, all that stuff. But God know my heart, and he know where I want to be. And hopefully one day I can get past some things, you know what I'm saying, that I do now. But for now, God don't care as long as you talking to him and you have that relationship with him. So don't always judge a book by its cover, because everyone has a past. Everyone's been through some things. And y'all, when I was going through these things, I was 18, 19, living at home. After that year, like I said, that happened to me in April too. April 8th, I remember the exact date, because I told y'all something shook at me. And it really woke my behind up. And yeah, so like after that, y'all, I vowed to like love myself. I didn't get in another relationship with nobody. I went celibate, and I focused solely on loving myself. And then I turned 20 years old, and I had a blast for my 20th birthday. And by my 21st birthday, y'all, I had moved into my own apartment. That was my birthday gift to myself. Yeah. I had moved into my first apartment, continue to be celibate, continue to trust my faith in God and all that stuff. I started traveling more. Like, y'all see I be gone now. I'm about to start traveling a whole lot more in 2023. So I had moved into my own spot. I have been single. I've been single for almost like 3 years now. Yeah, I'm living in my own spot. Like, keep in mind, y'all, a few years ago, I didn't even see myself on this earth. So like 16-year-old me, 17-year-old me, 18-year-old me is shook right now at the things I'm doing. Like, she is shook. And that's why I try to remind myself when I go through hard times, like, girl, you're not supposed to be here. Like, girl, you're not supposed to be here. Like, be happy you at, like, you know what I'm saying? You, like, where you at right now, because you ain't supposed to be nowhere but in the ground. So, moving to my own spot, and then we move up into now, like, I'm traveling more with my friends, focusing on myself, just dating, having fun, like, literally having fun. And now what, I'm 22 years old, still in my own spot, paying all my bills by myself. I just bought a 2021 Kia, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making major moves alone by myself. Like, those are big moves for somebody as young as me. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. Like, I just want to tell y'all more about what I've been doing, all that stuff. And that if you are going through something, you better believe it get better. It get better. And build that relationship with God. And He gonna do everything you want, everything you need. Don't just come to Him when you need stuff. Come when you're happy. Come when you're sad. All that stuff. Deal with none of that stuff right now. Like, no more. I ain't dealt with none of that stuff in like 2-3 years. And I just thank God for that. And that's all I really wanted to talk about. And if y'all ever need someone to talk to, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I hope y'all enjoyed this very transparent and raw and authentic video of me.